Hello success seekers and welcome to Furetastic. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the lessons that you can get from the movie The Peaceful Warrior. Firstly, let's talk about the movie as a whole. This movie is a wonderfully moving and inspirational cinematic experience. A young and promising gymnast has set his sights on winning gold at the Olympics. Justifiably, perhaps, he becomes very conceited and cocksure. One early morning, unable to sleep, he goes for a run and meets the proprietor of the local convenience and mechanic store, a character played by Nick Nolte. From then on, Dan's life changes completely as he discovers his certainties and his convictions rapidly eroding. This movie reiterates the tenet that anything is possible to the person who lives in the moment and doesn't let his past and future overtake his present. An ounce or two of magic, a smattering of philosophy, and oodles of inspirational messages make this a movie that is definitely worth watching. So now let's dive into the lessons from the movie. Knowledge is not what you study, but what you gather from experience. If you are updated with our videos, then you might know this because I have said this a couple of times in the video, like the Alchemist summary, lessons from Aankho Dekhi, etc. How much time has it happened to you when someone says take this medicine when X disease attacks you? It just remains on your brain without use, but at the time of emergency, it doesn't work. Instead, you needed something else. You see, then you come to know from your experience that what works and what doesn't. Knowledge is gained either by books or through the real world scenarios. The knowledge gained by books lets a person know about the theory, but by experience, he can feel and understand the complete mechanism practically. There is a saying, not everything that is learned is contained in the books. There are certain things which a person learns through the experiences in life, such as feeding the child, upbringing the child, walking, swimming, and many more. Though a person may have knowledge about the skills required to skim or drive by reading, but only until he experiences, he cannot learn to swim or drive. Experience is said to be the best teacher. It allows the person to understand the practical aspects. Without experience, there will be never true knowledge. You may think you know, but only with experience will you have anything more than grasping at an idea. Therefore, experience is more preferred than knowledge. Lesson number 2. People are not their thoughts, and their mind is just a reflex organ. People think they are their thoughts, and it brings all kind of sadness. Millions of thoughts you have every day reveals no more thing about you than a freckle does at the end of your nose. The first time I watched this movie, I didn't really give any thought. But the fact is, if you accept it, this philosophy is an extremely freeing outlook on life. Think about how much guilt people can carry around the things they think. But why? What do your thoughts have to do with anything? It is our actions and our practices that define who we are. This is also presented in the anime movie I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, where the boy develops the thoughts about what other people think about him. If you want a video on that, comment below. But again, like Sock says, so many of our thoughts are just reflections to things we see and hear every day. They are not who we are. How freeing. The third lesson is, life is about developing the wisdom to apply the right leverage in the right place at the right time. Where are you? Here. What time is it? Now. What are you? This moment. It's about knowing what to say and when to say and how to say it, so that the outcome of the intention of saying it is achieved. This applies to doing as well. Too many times people say or do something based on their limited premise of right or wrong. But what outcome do we aim to get? That is usually ignored, or worst is the person themselves forgot. Then it becomes a reactionary response without purpose. Knowing the right leverage puts the focus on the outcome instead of the process. The fourth lesson is, there's never nothing going on. There are no ordinary moments. If you pay enough attention and look closer, there is never nothing going on. Something is always happening, whether you can see or not. And the great part of this is, what is happening is always impacting our life. Let me give you an example. Those who know me know that I am a 9 to 5 person and I love the moon as it teaches me so much. As usual, this morning I was doing my early morning walk. I love saluting the moon before sunrise. She always leaves me with an inspiration, and this morning it happened again. The moon was showing off her silhouette see in the night sky. It was the waning crescent phase of the moon, which is when the moon has a smaller part of its visible surface illuminated so that it appears to decrease in size. It is the last phase of the moon cycle. At this point, The moon continues to shrink until it becomes invisible, and that is when we name it the new moon. The new moon is invisible to our eyes, it is fully there and yet invisible. I find this fascinating and makes me wonder, when we feel and think that nothing is going on in our life, nothing is happening as events don't seem to occur, is it possible that we are living a new moon phase in our life? Events invisible to the eyes and yet they are fully happening. Is it possible that things, events, people are not currently visible into our life or experiences, but since there is never nothing going on and always something happening that touches our life and exists even if we don't see it, is it still possible that everything is on its way into our lives and the things, events, people will just simply appear when the right phase is mature? Do not be discouraged when stillness is there, when silence and no events happen to seem. When you feel like you are in a corner or in a desert-like experience and nothing happens and nobody shows up, trust in life because there is never nothing going on. You might just be in your new moon phase and surprises are just a shift away. The fifth lesson is death isn't sad. The sad thing is people don't live at all. Most people never live at all. It is a waste of time thinking about death if it's only going to keep you at night worrying. Being anxious about the inevitable seems a little pointless to me. Since there's nothing we can do to stop it, yeah, we can cure disease, but to put it bluntly, for the purposes of making my point, it's just delaying the inevitable. People spend their life thinking about the scenarios that's never gonna happen. They worry about everything and forget to live their own life. Living life mindfully, consciously, and living the smallest moment of life is that thing that people needs to do. Because when you are on your deathbed, you won't think about your wealth, rather enjoying the time that you had. So why not do it now? Anyway, this is it for today, guys. I hope you got to learn something new. Apply the lessons in your life and I am 100% sure it would create a difference. If you like the content, then subscribe to my channel. Drop a beautiful like and share this video with your loved ones. Goodbye, stay safe, stay productive, and peace out.